Hello. Well, we are at a garden here and we are just going to share with you a few things we do to grow our own food to save money on groceries. So we have a garden here at a property that is now where we live, and you'll notice in fact if I can just make you look for house from outside, and we just came to mow the property. So the property is about half a yard, and to cut down on a grassy area, I pretty much fence a part of it to turn it into a garden. But the first time that I did it, I purchased hay, maybe 200 worth, that I put in the garden, but they broke down. So wood chips is free in the city. The city will dump it somewhere, but we have to go haul it to use it. So, and we have a car, not a pickup truck. So the wood chips is out of question. So one thing we have been using is the boxes, and the children we brought some. The children are making them flat, and we will be putting them down. So you'll notice that where we have the boxes, there is not much grass there, but where we don't, we have grass. So the first time I planted in the garden, I don't remember what year was it, but the year that followed, I didn't come here at all. So I must have planted in 2019, and I didn't come here in 2020. In 2021, I came here in summer, and it was really full of, the grass was tall, really tall. And today is March 15, 2022. So it's just spring, but you can see that the grass is huge already, because probably we didn't come here in fall 2021. So there was some grass, and now they just grew. But what I wanted to point out is Egyptian onion. Even though grass is here, Egyptian onion is doing just fine among them. So that's really that's a perennial onion, Egyptian walking onion, and they are a resilient plant. So when I came here in 2021, was it spring? No, summer 2021. It was really, the grass was really tall, and I was surprised that our onion were doing fine. So we do have those onion, and it was last year that we put those boxes down. But I was very told that the onion were okay. I put garlic here as well. Garlic was okay. I planted strawberries. I didn't find them. So clearly they didn't do well among the grass. And we have sorrel. Sorrel was fine as well. And we do have sorrel there. And that's a green we plant to replace lettuce and spinach in cooking and salad. And we have a lot of dandelions, so we'll be harvesting quite a bit of dandelions. They are even taller here than in our own garden at home. And that's a lot of creeping Charlie, and creeping Charlie is edible raw and cooked as well, and those are taller than the one I have at home, so they can be harvested as well, chopped and freeze. So, and last year when I came, I was surprised to find rhubarb. Rhubarb was okay among the grass. And this year, they are still doing fine. And they are flowering already. And they are transplant. Pretty much I dug some from home, planted them here, and they are doing fine. And you can see that I have onion, but I still have grass in this area. And the rhubarb are doing very well. It's just March. It's May, but we have things growing in the garden already, And this is horseradish. That's a spice we are growing to replace spices in our cooking. So horseradish is doing fine. It has not established yet. It tends to be very wide as well as a plant. But that's a lot of grass here, tall grass actually. So we are going to mow.
There's tall grass here.
Yeah. Jaden, be careful before you have in your hand. So we are going to mow. You can see them. The grass is like past my knee. But you can see the onion. We have rhubarb there. And we have onion. And then we have rhubarb. That's a bed. And I started a bed here last summer before we stopped coming, and that was this bed. So those onions are doing fine. Planted last year, and I need to find the garlic. The garlic was in a bed here. The bed is clearly full of creeping trolley, but the garlic is doing fine. And that's a bed here, and this is garlic. So I put some cardboard box there last year, and you can see where I didn't put the cardboard box. We have grass there, and we have garlic here. So garlic is doing fine, and that's where I planted the strawberries and garlic in this bed. But when I came last year, I didn't see the strawberries, but only garlic. So one whole year I didn't come here, and when I came a year and a half later, like summer 2021, the grass was really tall, really tall. So this one is just spring, and we have grass this tall to work with. So yeah, just to show you that, if you wanted to plant those onions, they are really, if they are added to your zone, they are low maintenance. I was really surprised to see them alive among tall grasses. So we mulch, we cut those grasses, we mow, and we use them to mulch. Pretty much that's what we did last year when we came, and then we started gathering boxes to use on the ground. So yes, you can start a garden right on the grass. You have to mow the grass, pull car boxes down, and after 3 weeks you will see a change on the ground, and you'll be able to dig and plant. I hadn't used some plants that were here as well to just keep. If I lift it now, you'll see that it will be quite dirty, but I can just, you can see that when you leave those, the grass will die down underneath it, and if you want to plant, you'll be able to plant. So that's an easy way to start a garden right on the grass. So I'm just going to quickly, with the kid, probably start harvesting some dandelion first and start cutting the grasses. We'll buy gas to put in the lawnmower, and we will mow, because the grass, we won't be able to just cut those by hand. So we have to use the lawnmower, because we have some area that I didn't plant anything at all. And that's, you can see how tall the grass is. It's at knee level. If you can imagine, by summer it will be even taller. So we have huge patch here, and I need to mow. And the goal is to keep the garden mulch, but we didn't come in fall to rake fall leaves to mulch with. So far last year we are just using the grass. When we move, we'll use the grass from the property and mulch with it. And I'm use mulch the bed where I'm planting, and use the cardboard seeds that we are bringing on the empty spot. But yeah, you can grow your own food to save on grocery bills. You just have to be, you have to do your own research to see what is hardy to your zone. And I have found perennial greens to be the one to help reach that goal, because you don't have to keep buying the seeds. You purchase them once, plant them. Perennials tend to take time to establish, but once they establish, that's it. We don't water here, but you can see how things are growing tall. Do you think it's okay to keep doing that? I had to pause what I'm saying in the video to talk to you, even though you know why you are doing it. It's not okay. So yeah, and with our herbs and our roots, spice, we don't need spices from the grocery store. We don't buy herbs. And with our greens and wild plants, we don't buy lettuce, we don't buy spinach. And with the rhubarbs, we pretty much can make our own how do you call it, our own dessert by making pie. So we can have rhubarb and apple pie. I wanted to plant apple trees, some fruit trees here, but it has some big trees, and I noticed that we have at least 2 walnuts on the property, and they have been producing already. And having walnuts, apple trees may not work. You shouldn't plant them close to a walnut tree, I think. So I think stone fruits might be okay, but not apple tree. So when I fenced the garden, I had that in mind to see to include some fruit trees on the property, but I just don't know what that would be. It's kind of hard for us to keep this area mulch, but yeah, thank you so much for your time. If you have your own house, you can, or if you are looking, especially if you are looking to buy a house and you wanted to grow your own food, you might want to make it a must to have a big yard, to have a property with a big yard, because you cannot add more property once you purchase the place. So you might want to find a property with a big yard, and you don't need anything huge. Like even a quarter lot is plenty for you to have a garden, because this property is half an acre, but where we live is not. Is half of that is a quarter of acre, 10,000 square footage. So you don't need a big yard, but you just need to have a yard on a property that allow you to grow your own food. And you can start with, you can include fruit trees that you like to eat the fruits, and vegetables that you like to eat, or vegetables that are perennials that can replace the vegetables that you eat raw or cooked, and start from there. Fruit trees can take years to produce, but you have to start somewhere. And when you are purchasing fruit trees, you might want to get the one that will, you can start harvesting early and start eating those before the one that will take longer to produce, to start producing. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Afiavi Liberman, creator of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, and the nasoap.com our blog. So I'm going to start working with the kids, and my daughter is already cutting the grass, and pretty much we are going to be mulching with it. Instead of buying hay, well, we have our own hay here, our own grass. we can mulch with. And then once we mow